Welcome everyone to Sunday service I Am Presence message. And today's message is focused on opposition is a blessing. I welcome all of you to these weekly short Sunday service messages, and may they uplift you as they are designed to have you see through the lens of your I Am Presence, through the lens of your own divinity. So oppositions are part of our daily experiences, part of our life. They are there on purpose, and they really catapult us forth. However, we within the human experience do not really like oppositions because they allow us to kind of get in this squeezing state that we often don't like. And I'm going to correct the word allow us. They kind of push us to become squeezed. And it is our allowing that allows us to move out of that squeeze. Now, some of these oppositions come directly from ourselves. Some of them come from our immediate family members. Sometimes it comes from colleagues. And sometimes it comes from just outside, people that we don't even know. Or if, let's say, we are on social media, we have a public platform, there is a lot of opposition. And that opposition is in separation of the truth that we represent. Yet, wherever that individual may be, they are communicating from the place that they are, that is in opposition of the truth in which we stand. Therefore, there's a disagreement on that. And sometimes that opposition can be so heavy, so negative, that can have a real impact on us. And it would only impact us when we are pulled into that opposition, pulled into that density, pulled into that negativity, pulled into that contraction. And at the same time, sometimes when we are pulled into that opposition, what happens is that because we become so squeezed, we become so pressured, we become so tightened in that breath, because let's say if it's very negative, say it's a betrayal, that there's this shock and disbelief, all of that comes with it, we become so tightly centered within, because we're not breathing. So we're not allowing God's presence to move through us. Thus, as a result, we can get stuck in there. However, what I want to share with you is these oppositions are strategically planned so that we can meet them. But when we meet them from our human self, there's no strength in them. When we meet them with our human self, we can get thrown around and flustered and not know how to handle it and be overwhelmed. However, when we remain in faith and meet opposition with that God presence, that mighty I Am presence within, we will recognize that that opposition is being planned so perfectly, so strategically, so that it can catapult us forth as a part of our destiny. That opposition has been there, so therefore the greater part of us comes forth. That opposition is there, so therefore we can stand even in that divine truth greater. That opposition is there to communicate within us what is innately within us. And this is really, really important, because often we get sort of in this place of victim. We move into that, and we sometimes talk down upon ourselves. Oh my gosh, I was nice, I was kind, I did everything, I was honorable, I was respectful. How could this person do this to me? And of course, that is natural. We will communicate from that place when we are coming from our human lens. However, again, when we are intact with our divine self, we see that very clearly. Yes, it is upsetting. However, we are able to also know that, wow, here is what God's blessing is coming forth after this. Wow, this is a wow and wonderment. So I'm now being given the opportunity to be squeezed so I can resurrect higher. I can be squeezed so I can rise up greater. I'm going to be squeezed so I can expand greater. The greater part of me is coming forth. And that greater part of me cannot be touched by opposition because it is planned on my soul signature on coming to earth, so I can deliver this. I can bring it onto pass. I can bring it onto earth. So this is the message that I wanted to share with you. And I have numerous examples in my life where people, of course, they spoke all kinds of things to me, especially when I answered the call to go on the planetary mission. And I was literally by some of my family members really trashed and judged and horrible things. And what's so interesting is 13 years later, I have had a dear family member that stopped talking to me call me and apologize how much she had judged me, apologize for how much she couldn't understand me, and if anything, she had called to say how much she admires the courage and strength that it took for me to answer the call and start this planetary mission. So it's incredible. Back then, I just knew I had to answer the call. I was not focused on anybody else's opinion. But that did come with a price, I have to admit. And it served such an incredible purpose. I'm so thankful to all those people that didn't believe in me, haters and what have you, because what's been amazing is I had another individual that had stepped aside and just this past week reached out and wanted to apologize, wanted forgiveness, and on top of it, she gifted monetary to my ministry. Like, it's amazing. So those oppositions are there to bless you. That's my point. And when you take this blessing inside and embrace it, rejoice it, to know as long as you're in faith, you are following that divine presence within. Everything else is laid out for you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. And if this message resonates with you, please feel free to share it with others. Leave a comment for me, that really helps this channel. And also, as always, my ministry is open for those of you that want to join, that want to really embody your walk of ascension and be able to live from your true presence, from that great I am presence within. Feel free to reach out. The email is on the bottom. Have a beautiful